So, Audemus, you're intimately involved with the Mass Effect modding community. You've got your ear to the ground there. Are there any big things being worked on that Mass Effect players can expect in the near future, and that you are clear to talk about?
Things to get excited about, maybe?
Can I spoil somebody else's work? Yes, I absolutely can. Okay.
You can. All right.
Yes. Okay. So there are some amazing projects being worked on. Just absolutely incredible projects. I'm going to shout out two by fellow Mass Effect 1 modders that I have huge respect for. So the first one is a talent overhaul project being worked on by a modder called Nightwalk. And basically what he's doing is, I mean, it's insane. I have no idea how he's doing it, but he is porting powers from Mass Effect 2 and 3 into 1. So you're getting things like combat drone, charge,
that's insane.
Like overload, incinerate, cryoblast. Like all of this stuff is being moved into Mass Effect 1. And it's incredible the way that he's managed to get this to work. And it really makes the game look incredible. Like seeing Shepard run around in Mass Effect 1 with tech armor, get excited for that because it's coming soon. And I'm very much looking forward to playing that. The second one is by a modder called Vegs, and he is working on restoring Callister, which is the planet that eventually became the place where you pick up the armor. Callister was a pretty huge planet. I believe it had roughly the same amount of dialogue as Noveria, and it was around the same size. And there's a lot of stuff in there, and we have access to pretty much the entire script. It has to be translated because it only shipped in localized languages. But at this point, we've pretty much translated most of it, and we've started looking into how it can be restored. And this modder is currently working on restoring the entire planet, which is, I don't know how he's going to do it, but he's making great progress so far. And if you go to the Mass Effect modding Discord, you can check out the Developer Showcases channel to see all of the things that people being worked on, including those two mods. But yeah, I think that the Callister mod is a long ways out. Talent Overhaul mod coming fairly soon.
Now, Callister, this is a brand new planet that players could go to?
Yes, well, sort of. It's basically turning Therum back into Callister. Because
I see.
Callister was a mining planet primarily dominated by Edgefell Ashland Energy. You would go to a place called Throwdown Plaza, and you would basically deal with it was a very Wild West, Firefly-esque sort of planet. There was that whole thing going over gangs and cartels and things like that. And that was where you originally recruit the armor. So,
and it was teased in the very first Mass Effect trailer. Yes, I remember they're charting new course for Callister, and then we never went there.
Yeah, and a lot of the early gameplay demos had Callister content. And the final area that you go to and bring down the sky, where you fight Balak and the Batarians and free the hostages, that was the hub for Callister. Obviously that a lot of the rooms aren't there, but the main room, that was it. That was Callister's Throwdown Plaza. So there's a lot of really cool stuff that's been discovered in Callister's files that should hopefully be restored in this mod. For example, Blue Hanar. Turns out that there was a Blue Hanar that ran the med bay. So Blue Hanar canon. Too. Yeah. Yeah, there was so much. There was this
Manar of Wars. I'm sorry, go on.
Oh no.
There was an ambush with these mercenaries that have been hired by Saren, and one of them talks to you like he's a sheriff. He kind of talks like this. He's doing some kind of weird southern accent. I go it's a very
from Texas.
It's close enough there, Commander Shepard. It's a weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's one of the things that surprised me most about it was that one of the characters on Callister was a character called Fred Mazai. And you may recognize Fred Mazai from being a very random mention in the Shadow Broker video terminals. And it turns out that Fred Mazai was this sort of comic relief character on Callister that they then repurposed into Elias Kellum's lawyer in Mass Effect 2. So that's going to be an interesting thread to reconnect when restoring Callister.
Wow. Talk about like minute details that they've repurposed. That's awesome, man. I cannot wait to see this Callister mod. And I forget the other name. What's the name of the mod bringing the powers back to?
I don't think it has a name yet, but we'll call it Talent Overhaul mod.
That is going to be insane. And for all of our listeners, yeah, you probably heard this here first. So